Good morning, students. Now, our topic is food preservation. As we have discussed that food poisoning, the topic food poisoning, and it is caused due to spoiled food, and the food in which microorganisms have grown. So we should preserve our food. Okay, so we are going to discuss food preservation. Now, how can we preserve our food so that it does not spoil? hmm. Means for food preservation there are some topics like first is chemical method. Means how can we preserve our food by using some chemicals like salts and edible oils are the common chemicals which we use to preserve our food. Like we can preserve like pickles are preserved by adding salts or acid. Vinegar is added to these items. So we can preserve them. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate are also common preservatives. Okay, and these are also used in jams, squashes to check the spoilage. Means these jams and squashes are used for a longer period, so they must be preserved. How we preserve them? We use some chemicals like sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfate, etc. Now we can also preserve our food by common salt, like fish, meat. We can preserve them for a longer time. Fish and meat are covered with dry salt, okay, to check the growth of bacteria. If bacteria are not grown, then our food will become safe. Salting is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. Also. Now, preservation by sugar. How can we use sugar as a preservative? Like jams, jellies, squashes, they are preserved by sugar. Okay, sugar. Why we use sugar? Because sugar reduces the moisture contained, which inhibits the growth of bacteria. Means it reduces the moisture. Okay, and if there is no moisture, the growth of bacteria will definitely be inhibited or reduces. As we have discussed in first chapter, moisture is required to grow bacteria. That's why we use to dry up our all the wheats or grains, so that they can be preserved for a longer time. Now, how can we preserve? We can preserve our food by oil and vinegar. Hmm. Use of oil and vinegar prevents spoilage of pickles. We use as I have told you in first point. We use vinegar, and vinegar is an acid. We use oil, as you can see in your home. Your means mother, whenever they make pickle and then pickles, then you can see they pour oil uh, till the top of the top layer. Okay, or more. Means they try to preserve the pickles, okay, from spoilage, so that these bacteria cannot grow. Because if we cover the food item from by oil, then this air will not enter to the food item, and means moisture will not go to the food items. And as we all know, if there is no moisture, there is no bacteria. Vegetables, fruits, fish and meat are often preserved by this method. Now, heat and cold treatment. As we all know, we used to store our food in nowadays, that in summer season we keep our food uh, in fridge, refrigerator. Means so to preserve our food. Why? Because in cold storage, bacteria, the growth of bacteria is reduced or checked, रुक जाती है. Okay, now Boiling also kills the microorganisms, as you all know. Your mother boils milk, because boiling reduces the growth of bacteria and kills the microorganisms in the food item. And here it is also given, we keep our food in the refrigerator because low temperature inhibits the growth of microbes. Okay, now there's one more method which is very important, that is pasteurization. Now what is pasteurization? Pasteurization is a method of preserving milk. What we do in this method, milk can be consumed without boiling, as it is free from harmful microbes. That pasteurized milk, the packed milk which is taken from a market, that packet milk is preserved milk, pasteurized milk. What we do for pasteurization, we heat the milk at about 70 degree for 15 to 30 seconds, and then suddenly chilled the food, that milk, and is stored. That's it. That's the process for preservation of milk or pasteurization. By doing so, it prevents the growth of microbes. Okay, then means the food item, these that milk will remain safe from microorganisms. This process was discovered by Louis Pasteur. Okay, this pasteurization method was discovered by Louis Pasteur. Okay, now last point in this and preservation is storage and packing. Means we sometime, as we all know, in first chapter I already told you that we try to dry wheat that matured or harvested crops are dried, so that moisture can be removed from these items, so that they can be preserved for longer, or they can be stored for a longer time. So in the same way here, dry fruits etc. Are stored or after drying them. Okay, then and another method is sealed. If we seal the food items in airtight container, means moisture will not enter in these food item, and as we know, moisture starts growing microbes, and if there is no moisture, there will be no bacteria or microbes, so our food item will remain safe from microbes. So that's why we store our food item after drying. And if we are packing the food item, what we do, we firstly seal the food item in airtight packets or containers, like chips packets. You can see, for removing the air in these packets, when we seal these packets, we remove the air in these packets. How we remove the air? By filling nitrogen. Means nitrogen is entered to the packet, and the air which is in our packet is move outside. Okay, so in this way we remove the air from that packet, and we transfer nitrogen. Nitrogen is the gas which is non-reactive to our food item. That's why we fill nitrogen gas in these items. Okay, so our food item will remain safe from these pathogens or microbes. Okay, and we can take these food items, but as we all know, these packets, you can feel the air inside these packets, and when you read the packet, you will see that after opening we can use the item till that period. You can see you can read the line, because after opening the packet, these food item become in the presence of air, so microbes can grow. That's why that these lines are given on these packets. Now we are finishing the point, that means last topic is storage and packing. It's means by these all points, by these methods we can preserve our food item. Now nitrogen fixation will be in next video. I'll tell you in next video.